Hello everyone, Daniel Master 87 here. And today I just saw that the developers have released another update. I think that's 2 in 1 month, but I'm just gonna show my initial reaction to whatever changes they have in store. Let's just get right into it. We're back with another developer update with a series of posts detailing all the changes, blah blah blah. Blood web costs. Last month we overhauled our progression system to make it easier to earn perks, easier than ever. Under the new system, perks are now unlocked through prestige and are immediately available to use on other characters without needing to be found in the blood web. Higher tier versions can be unlocked through subsequent prestiges, blah blah blah. Alongside these changes, we removed the blood point bonuses from 2 perks, barbecue and chili, and we're gonna live forever. And without these bonuses, you could afford fewer blood web nodes per match, making it harder to earn items, add-ons, and offerings than before. Who could have seen that coming? They want to remedy this as soon as possible with the Project W chapter. They're reducing the cost of nodes in the blood web roughly by 33%. Well, this is a step in the right direction, but I would have gone further. So it looks like commons are going from 3,000 to 2,000. They should be 1,000. Uncommons going from 4,000 to 2,500. Rares to 3,250. Very rares from 6,000 to 4,000, and ultra rares from 7,000 to 5,000. What I would have done is just set commons at 1,000 and then up it by 1,000 each time. Which honestly, let me see, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. Okay, so under their system, the ultra rares would cost 1,000 less than my idea. Or am I miscounting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Under my idea, it would have been about the same. It's just that what changed was their commons, uncommons, and rares are more than under my idea. Why not increase the blood points earned instead? I don't really know what to say about that one. I would say double BP incentive every weekend. That should be standard for this game, since people are playing it a lot, but they're not getting that much BP out of it, and these blood hunts or whatever are usually just a mere 50% bonus blood points. I think you could just have that at least every weekend if you're not going to do anything else with it. 33. They're just doing math here. So they're doing math to prove to people that now the grind is better than before. It makes all blood points more valuable, not just those from matches. What does that mean? Oh, of course. So then the stuff from daily rituals and archive challenges have more purchasing power than before. Camping and tunneling, this is the scary part. We added 5-second endurance and haste effects to all unhooked survivors, designed to give the unhooked survivor a fighting chance by allowing them to get to a nearby pallet or window if the killer decides to chase them again. We released this feature with safe numbers to ensure things don't get out of hand. Though we had some time to see how they play out, we're comfortable increasing them further. Really? It always puts a smile on my face when people say, oh, it's only 5 seconds of endurance and haste for free. Like, how did y'all play this game before if you're complaining that that's too little for you? So they're increasing the duration of the haste and endurance effects to 10 seconds. and then they'll be increasing the haste effect from 7% to 10%. Just great. This will only go to damage killers more who decide not to tunnel. We've seen this every time they've tried to introduce anti-tunneling and anti-camping stuff. It just makes the people abuse it more offensively instead of using it defensively. I mean, look at off the record, people just running at the killer for 80 seconds because they're safe until that timer's up. Metal Man. Our intention was never to make this perk weaker, so alongside the chapter release, we're reverting the recent update to Metal of Man. This I kind of agree with, because I didn't like it being a endurance perk, when before it was like a thing on top of endurance. It will grant a unique protection hit that is not cancelled by conspicuous actions like endurance. And it will no longer cause the endurance status effect to appear in the HUD when activated. Okay, so I like those changes. Post BTB changes, they were changing the Raccoon City Police Department. Thank you for leaving your feedback. We'll continue to monitor how everything performs and reassess once the dust has settled. One thing we noticed during the PTB was the collision detection on the Mastermind's rush was a little too sensitive, causing the killer to bump into objects they shouldn't have. Yes! For the release, we've toned this down so you don't accidentally bump into obstacles that often. Well, several killers could use that change, but they're not going to do that, are they? They've also polished the way Virulent Bound interacts with pallets and windows. The survivor would basically vault the window and not take damage if he did that dash towards them. Now he will hit them with his tentacles if they're caught in the middle of a vault. That's what we want. Additionally, survivors could wait on the other side of the pallet, vaulting back over it before the Mastermind could attack after vaulting. That is sad. Standing too close to a vault location as the Mastermind bounds over it will result in the survivor being injured. That's interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out. And if you don't want to know what we're talking about with Project W and the Mastermind and all that, it's the upcoming Resident Evil chapter, which I'll make a video on explaining more. But people who are in the inn will already know what I'm talking about. Next, we're revisiting his power and loops. We found his base movement speed to be a little slow. So they've increased the movement speed between bounds to 2.76 meters a second instead of 2.3 meters a second. That seems good. Since the loose crank add-on has been added to the base kit, essentially we've reduced its movement speed bonus from 20% to 8%. Wow, that's a nerf. To compensate for the new total of 2.98 meters a second. Wait, that's faster than... No, it's not. A killer is 4.6 meters a second. And its ability to throw survivors at each other, injuring both survivors in the process. Oftentimes, those unfortunate enough to have their friends flung at them would not even realize that they'd been injured. What? To make this more obvious, being injured from healthy the Mastermind will now cause deep wounds. That's what it did anyway. Alright? Yeah, that's weird. I thought they already had that feature. And they've toned down the survivor collision detection of the Mastermind's bound. Well, that kills him. We found this to be a little too generous on the PTB, allowing the killer to grab survivors that were not in front of him. This change will require a little more precision on the killer's part, as if we didn't have to focus on precision enough already with point blank attacks and stuff like that. And this change was made to make Virulent Bound feel fairer to survivors, of course. And then it made change to perks, Reassurance, which was the anti-camping thing. On the PTB, Reassurance paused the hook timer for 40 seconds, or I forget what the seconds is, but it had a 40-second cooldown and could be used repeatedly. This could have been abused by survivors to keep the hook survivor permanently on the hook, preventing them from being sacrificed against their will. But who's gonna do that? Seriously. Like, you just take a random survivor hostage as a 3-man survive with friends or something like that? Who wants to do that? And then, so they've removed the cooldown from Reassurance, and it can only use once per hook instance. Well, that's good. And it can still be chained together if multiple survivors are running Reassurance for a maximum delay of 90 seconds. Awakened Awareness, that's the auras when you carry someone perk. It also lingered for 2 seconds after the survivors dropped, hooked, or wiggled free. This effect could be a little oppressive on certain killers. Oh, you mean Nurse, which you should be dealing with instead of destroying this perk? Especially when paired with Lethal Pursuer to extend the aura reading effect, and Starstruck to make survivors exposed. You're only talking about how it interacts with Nurse. Other killers won't be able to use it that well. For the release, we removed the lingering aura reading from Awakened Awareness. So now it's back to Hangman's Trick, basically. So say goodbye to that perk in a lot of its more useful instances. Yeah, it sucks. Low profile. This was the one perk that needed to be buffed for sure. When you become the last survivor, it hides your scratch marks and pools of blood for 90 seconds at level 3. It would only be active once per match, and if you happen to be the last survivor standing, yeah, that's pretty situational. So I've changed it to include it anytime you are the only survivor who is not dying, hooked, or dead as well. Well, that's an appropriate buff. Additionally, low profile will also mask your grunts of pain in addition to its existing effects. More Iron Will effects, of course. Better than new. I would grant any survivor you healed 6% action speed to repairing, healing, chest opening, and totem cleansing for 35 seconds. We found the duration of this perk to be a little low. Really? Okay. So now it will grant a 16% action speed bonus to healing and all that. Better than new no longer has a duration. Survivors instead keep this bonus until the next time they take damage. Are you freaking kidding me? That's just like a better overzealous, a better prove thyself, a better deja vu. What the heck are you thinking? Just for healing them, they get all that? Imagine if Gift of Pain was... And then finally we've come to the Raccoon City Police Station. They've split it up into East Wing and West Wing, which I think is a good idea. And it includes the main hall and a small section of the opposite wing, greatly reducing its size compared to the original. Also opened up new pathways, allows for more interesting gameplay and less claustrophobia. In the PTB, we found that there was too many pallets scattered around the Raccoon City Police Department. Oh, you think? The 2 freaking god pallets on either side of the main stairs was too much? It just shows how, like, freaking bonkers their balance has to be for them to point out, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. So they've reduced the number of pallets on the newly renovated map for when the chapter releases. Hopefully that works out okay. And we've reached the end of the developer update. Well, there were a couple things I didn't like, but there were some stuff I did like the BP grind was addressed, Medal of Man changed. We'll have to see with the freaking 10 seconds of 10% haste and endurance. But then people are still probably going to say, it's just 10 seconds. And then reassurance, it'll probably be fine. Awakened awareness, probably not going to be used like it was before. Better than new, freaking bonkers. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it. For right now, this is Daniel, Master 87, signing out.